Calon FM on 105 FM. Your community, your music.
It's the Andy Snowden Radio Show. It's the Andy Snowden Radio Show. It's the Andy Snowden Radio Show. It's the Andy Snowden Radio Show.
Right, what's happening around town, I hear you ask?
What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening.
Right then, coming up at Theatre Clwyd on the 26th to the 29th of April, there is a double header between the Skimming Theatre Company and the Suitcase Theatre Company. They are going to be doing the Dumbwaiter and the Doc Brief. And I have got with me this afternoon, I'm still to bits about this, we've got one of the stars from the Dumbwaiter, Chris Earl. Good afternoon, fella.
How you doing, you okay?
Very well indeed. And the director of the Doc Brief, so we're all going to have to behave ourselves. Robert Derry, how are you, mate?
Yeah, not doing too bad.
Jolly good. Did you find us alright? Everything okay?
Yeah. Managed to find you alright. Yeah,
Nice
it's
building,
yeah.
Nice, posh.
Yeah, fancy.
And a lovely day it is in Wrexham as well. I think it's got to be the hottest day of the year today.
That's
So
it.
far.
Summer's over now.
That's it.
Get it while you can.
I know, yeah. Well, I was saying earlier, go out and buy a barbecue. Make sure it's a disposable one.
Yeah, that's it.
Because it'll snow tomorrow. Right then, let's have a chat about this then. Tell us about Skimming Stones Theatre.
Skimming Stones, yeah. It's myself and my good friend Stuart Bold. We're both East 15 acting school graduates. I finished in 2013. Stuart finished in 2015.
All right.
And then once Stuart finished, we decided that we wanted to set up a company in North Wales, so that we could be based here and bring more arts to North Wales.
Right, okay.
So we come up with a name. It took a long while, as names do, because there's a conflict of interest, and then you pick a great name, and then it's like, it's gone.
Yeah.
So we got the name together.
So
and,
where did it come from in the end, Skimming Stones?
I was thinking of a scene where there would have been a boy skimming stones on a lake.
Yeah.
I was just thinking of a piece we could do in the future, and then I just kept saying the name Skimming Stones. Actually got quite a nice ring to it, and then if you take out the elements of it, there's a ripple effect from water. There's the fluidity of water. It's getting a bit corny now, but the stones are dense and strong, and it's a lot of things came into play, and I sort of proposed it to Stuart, and he was like, yeah, go for it. So,
brilliant.
And because we've been round the houses for like weeks on end, we're like, let's just do it, because otherwise we'll have no name.
That'll do. We'll change it in the future if we need to.
Yeah, no, it's worked well, and it's got a good sound to it, so we're happy.
So, I mean, because I told you before, I interviewed Stuart last year, because he was doing a panto in the university there.
That's right.
And when he told me he went to East 15.
That's right, yeah.
I was going to say East 17, eh?
I know, everyone does.
So, did you know him before you went, or...?
A little bit, because we went to the same college, but because there's a 2-year gap with the education that we took.
Yeah.
At Yale, I kind of missed him, because I did this 2-year course. So when I left, he started.
Yeah.
But then at East 15, we shared 1 year, my last and his first. So we lived together.
All right.
For our last year. My last year, and his first year we lived together, and then I left and he carried on for 2 more years.
Yeah.
And then when he finished, we were back in Wrexham.
All right, fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, brilliant. Did you, Robert? Did you train as an actor as well?
No, I didn't actually. I just sort of got into it in school and then just stuck with it after that. I mean, it's something you've always wanted to do, but it's just it's. I think it's a tough life.
it is a tough life, because my daughter really wants to get into acting, and I say to her, look, just do it as a hobby for a while, and then see how you feel, because if you throw all your eggs in one basket, and everybody knows you're going to be unemployed most of the time, so setting up your own company. So did you set up Suitcase as well?
No, originally it was set up by Mike Stevens, who was a local writer.
I know Mike, yeah.
He set it about 9 years ago to do We'll Keep Her Welcome. So
right.
It was a play about wartime refugees in Liverpool.
Yeah.
Because it was part of the Liverpool capital culture.
Uh-huh.
So we did that there, and that's where the name Suitcase came from, because all these refugees with suitcases. And basically just sort of carried on after them. We've done a play every year in the Emlyn Williams Theatre, and we just sort of we try and do like a lot of local interest plays, that type of thing. Like last year we did Deep Cut, which was about the Private Cheryl James, his death in Deep Cut Barracks in Surrey. So we try and do those kind of plays, and at the same time we give, we do classic plays and stuff like that. But we work with all areas of the community to try and put stuff on.
So do you do most of your stuff in Theatre Clwyd, or do you do it in all over?
Well, we've sort of done most of it in Theatre Clwyd. We've done a couple of bits in. We did 2 years ago. We did something in a Flint High School, and we've done stuff in the Shoot in Rose as well.
Right.
But typically, our main base is sort of Theatre Clwyd.
Right. So, I mean, from the looks of it, it looks like you can pretty much do it anywhere. Am I right? Is that kind of fair?
No, yeah, I mean, because we don't sort of have unlike a lot of groups, we don't sort of have a fixed location. We kind of move around, and depending on where the actors are. So we sort of work across all North Wales. So wherever there's a venue going and we think we've got a good play, we'll put it on.
All right, fantastic. All right, then let's have a chat about these plays. It's a cracking idea to have two quite short pieces. I mean, in effect, aren't they? So you've got the Dumbwaiter and the Doc Brief, both lasting about how long would they last?
An hour for the Dumbwaiter.
An hour each, I think, probably.
Yeah, so then you got that, and then 15 minutes for, I mean, it's a good night out, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, fantastic. Which one's first?
The Dumbwaiter is first on the bill.
Right.
It's one of Harold Pinter's earlier plays. We follow the story of Ben and Gus, who are two hitmen.
Right.
And they've been located to an underground basement, a kitchen basement underground, and they've been there for many hours. And in their line of work, which is obviously quite sinister, things have always been quite normal. Same routine, same method, same sort of system. They get to the job, they wait, there's the facilities there, they execute the job, and then they go, and it's always quite, in a weird world, it's quite normal for them.
Yeah.
Whereas this time round, things are different. There's different facilities, different feelings, and it's dangerous in that kind of world. So Ben, who's the senior partner, he decides to turn a blind eye to this, whereas Gus, the junior partner, is questioning everything, and it's driving them both up the wall, but they're trapped in this box, really.
Yeah.
And in this underground basement, things get quite strange, quite mysterious, and it just builds into a dramatic climax where you just couldn't see it coming. So it's a wonderful, great, weird and strange and captivating play.
Yeah. I mean, it's billed as a double-header, sort of like a crime double-header.
Yeah.
Is yours based on the same sort of thing?
Yeah. So ours is a man is accused of murdering his wife, and it's basically about his barrister's attempt to sort of try and help get him off.
Yeah.
But I think it's quite good because it sort of subverts like the sort of like the class structure, because when the barrister initially comes on, he comes across as you think, oh right, this guy's definitely going to get him off. He's really intelligent. He knows what he's doing. And then as he goes through all his different defence strategies, you start to realise that there's a bit comical, and he's constantly pointing flaws out in all of them. So it's just a pairing of crime plays, really.
Right. Okay. So who came up with the idea of sort of just doing the two short plays and?
Well, so basically, we wanted to do the Doc Brief. We looked at that as a play we wanted to do, but we sort of knew it wasn't really long enough to sort of hold itself on its own. So we were looking for another play to go with it. And then I knew Chris separately because we worked together on other plays.
Yeah.
And then Mike suggested to me, I think they want to put something on as well. So we just got in touch with Chris, and just all sort of came together. Really.
So logistically. How does it work? Do you get one set, one thing you both have to work from? Or
well, depending on the pieces. Luckily, this time for these two projects, the set is quite similar in shape and structure. So we're going to have the one set that we can sort of manipulate and change to suit each play. So it'll be for us, it'll be the box room with the doors and what we need.
Yeah.
And then we can slightly change it during the interval to turn it into the prison cell that's needed for the Doc Brief.
So it sounds fantastic. Who designed it?
Well, we're sort of all doing it by ourselves.
Are you?
Yeah.
Right.
That's just down to I wouldn't say a lack of funding, but just being more hands-on with what we've got. So we've come up with a sort of simple design which we can manipulate for both plays.
All right. So you're directing it, aren't you?
I'm directing the Doc Brief, yeah.
Right, okay.
So, yeah, that's got Ian Wright and John Wilde in it. Ian Wright's playing the...
Ian Wright?
Yeah.
Not the Ian Wright.
Not the Ian Wright, sadly, no.
That'd be great, wouldn't it? What a catch. Get Ian Wright on. Ian Wright, right. Oh, brilliant. So can you pretty much do any play? Because I'm always intrigued by if people who've got their own companies. Can you just basically do anything you fancy?
You can. You just obviously when you're doing somebody else's play, you obviously have to commit to the license fees and the rights, and to make sure that you're doing it all by the book.
Yeah.
Which is that's why it's a good thing sometimes to write your own material and work on community projects so that you can have your own rights and your own performances to it.
Yeah.
But as a company, you can do whatever you like.
I think it's fantastic. Tell you what, we'll pause there and have a little bit of music, and we'll come back and we'll talk to Robert and Chris a little bit more. Maybe after the news, let them have a drink. And what a fantastic thing this is! A double header at Theatre Clwyd, The Dumb Waiter and The Doc Bird. Let me ask you, are they comedies? I've said it again. The Doc Brief. Look at that! Just terrible writing from Andy. Go on, go on. Are they comedies?
They're probably like black comedies is probably the more.
Yeah, I think yours is more comedy than The Dumb Waiter.
Yeah.
It's got comedy moments, but it is a sort of sinister story with those elements of comic timing in it.
Yeah.
Whereas The Doc Brief has got more comedy value to it.
Right, okay. All right.
Quite the contrast.
All right. It's a bit of ELO. We'll see you on the other side of the news. All right. Right then, let's get back at it.
What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening.
So before we were rudely interrupted there by the non-event, which was the news, I was talking to Robert Derry and Chris Earl about this double header that's taking place at Theatre Clwyd at the end of April. The Dumb Waiter and the Doc Brief. There we go. Chris Earl is going to be joined by Stuart Bold. Is that his name? Stuart Bold?
Stuart Bold, yes.
Yeah, and performing The Dumb Waiter first. That's going to run for about an hour at Theatre Clwyd. Is it going to be at the Emily Williams?
Yes.
Yeah, in the Emily Williams Theatre. And then the Doc Brief. Let everybody go outside, have a drink, have a wee, and come back and watch the Doc Brief. Now, you're directing the Doc Brief?
Yes, yeah, I am.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm always intrigued by direct. Did you start off by being an actor and then decide, I mean, I know you didn't work professionally as an actor, but you know what I mean, an interest in acting?
Yeah, I mean, even when you're acting, you're thinking about how you would do it as the director. So you're always kind of thinking about, and you're giving advice to your fellow actors anyway, because you sort of say maybe you should try doing that line like that. So it's not really that difficult just to sort of step back and you just because you're watching it unfold. You can sort of, in your mind, you're going, okay, well, I would say that line like that. Maybe if they move over there or they do it like that. So I think as long as you sort of you just get a feel for what you need to do. I mean, I find I'm doing it and watching films. I'm going, no, I wouldn't have done it like that.
No,
I'd have done it like that. So it's sort of it feels a bit more natural than it is. I think it's harder because you're the one making the decisions. Whereas when you're an actor, you can just sort of go, you tell me where to go and I'll do it. So it's a bit harder in that sense. But it's still it's not that different really.
So do you read a play and then think I'm going to do it like this and then I'll do that bit like that, or do you say let's do it and then I'll have a look, looks good?
No, I mean, you sort of, I sort of, for our one-act play, I sort of came up with a short list of different one-act plays I wanted to do, and I chat with Mike about what he thought was best, and then you read through them and you go, you just kind of know really, you just read it and you go, yeah, right, I can really see that on the stage, I know how that's going to fit, I know how that's going to work, and that's kind of how it happens. It's not sort of, it's a bit like the chicken and the egg scenario. You never know which one's going to come first, but sometimes you read something and you just that's what I'm doing.
Who's directing yours?
Maisie Langridge, the wonderfully talented Maisie Langridge. She was our acting teacher at Yale College.
Oh, right.
That's how I first got to know Maisie back in 2008.
Yeah.
So I did 2 years with Maisie, and she, as soon as I met her, I knew she was a wonderful person and a great person to work for as well. So when me and Stuart had formed our company and decided to do The Dumb Waiter, we approached Maisie, and she was more than happy to work with us, and it's been great. It's been a great little team we've got going.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Talking of which, can people join your company? Is there a way in, or is it like closed shop for now?
No, I mean anybody's welcome to join us at Suitcase Theatre. We're kind of open to anyone really. We've got an open membership. We've got people as sort of teenagers through to people in their late 80s. You know, we've got a real array of people. So yeah, if anyone wants to get involved, they can just email me at robert.derry@suitcasetheatre.org. And we can then get involved. We've got, after this double bill, we've got something coming up in early May where we're doing a evening of World War I plays at Theatre Clwyd as well.
Oh, right.
It's sort of poems and different pieces like that. So.
Yeah, I think my son's going to be involved.
Oh.
Yeah, my son's a singer, and he's classical singer, and he sang something at St Giles's in town at Christmas,
Right.
and this is where I know Mike from, because I knew Mike before that anyway, but Mike wrote some poems and he read them out.
Yeah.
And I said to my lad after he'd finished, I went, "Oh, I know that guy." And he went, "He's asked me to do something at Theatre Clwyd all about World War One." And it's in when is it in?
Yeah, it's in. Oh, I really should know this. It's in the. I think it's in the second week of May.
Right.
But yeah, it's at Theatre Clwyd again. It's just one evening of poems and pieces. I think we're revolving it around World War One, giving it the.
Is there a celebration for this? Is there a big anniversary or something?
Well, yeah, it's 100 years obviously since 1917. So.
I knew that.
Yeah.
I suddenly feel like the thick kid in the history class now. Tell me again, 1066. Oh, something happened, I can't remember. So is Skimming Stones, is that just you and Stuart? Or
for the moment, because we've been newly established and this is our debut production, we wanted to keep things small so that we didn't have to sort of worry too much about casting. But once we get this play up and running, we want to branch out and expand, similar to Suitcase Theatre.
Yeah.
So we've got our Facebook page we've been building and plugging along with.
Yeah.
So once we move on to the next chapter and we can have a bigger performance, a bigger cast, we want to open that up to the community and help bring people on and be a platform for new talent and a new age to sort of find their feet with us. If they want to, they can come along and audition.
All right, brilliant. I mean, there's something quite nice, isn't there, about just the two of you, two mates doing it, getting it on? Because I mean, not getting it on. But,
I was wondering where you're going with that one.
Easy, Andy. It's only 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But no, I mean, drama students. Anything could happen. No, there was David Hare was at Theatre Clwyd.
That's right.
A couple of weeks ago, and I got an interview with him, and he was saying that there's something quite nice about the play that they were putting on there at the time. It was just a 3-hander.
That's right, Skylight.
Yeah,
we went to the open dress.
Ah, right.
Yeah,
well, the thing with that, he said, was you could easily put it on because I mean, a lot of his shows had 1,000 in the chorus. You had to get a big orchestra in and all the rest of it, big sets, and it was all lavish. Or you can do a 3-hander or a 2-hander. You know what I mean? You can, but it's great that two mates who, especially when you've trained together and you've been through quite a lot, to come back. Was you in? Obviously, you were from Wrexham before. Daft question.
Yeah, I'm from Buckley originally, and then I moved to Chirk near Wrexham about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And Stuart's been in Wrexham for as long as I can remember.
Yeah. All right. So did you get involved with the panto as well?
I was in the panto.
Oh yeah.
I was the suitor in Beauty and the Beast.
I didn't talk to you last year, did I?
No. Last year I was in it last year, and I was the drunken Scottish waiter in it last year, as you do. And this year it was an American camp fashion model, so it was
All right, fantastic.
Not too much of a reach there.
Yeah.
The old acting skills.
Brilliant. let's talk quickly before we move on about the when it's on. When is it on? The 26th to the 29th of April, and presumably tickets from the box office to Theatre Clwyd. Am I right?
Yeah, if they just go on the website, it's on the What's On section, or also the community section on there. You can buy tickets from there, or you can call the box office up directly, and then you can get tickets from there. So they're all available. The show starts at 7:45 p.m. and tickets are £9.50 and £7.50 for concessions.
Perfect. I'll give you the phone number for Theatre Clwyd box office in case you want it. It's 01352 701 521. 01352 701 521. Sounds corking. I might just pop up there. I might take my good lady wife, treat her to a night out of violent comedy by the sounds of it.
Why
so,
not?
Have you already got anything else lined up after this is finished?
Well, I'm in talks with a good friend of mine who's been writing plays. He's had a couple of things put on at the Lowry in Manchester, and it's a sort of similar sort of line of what Suitcase are doing. I'm working with community sort of issues and projects, and he's writing a play at the moment called Walter's Cap, The title might change, but it's about the steelworks in Brumbo,
Right.
and the closure of the steelworks and how it affected the communities around it. So he's writing that at the moment, and that's something that we're really interested in. He approached us about maybe putting it on, when it's ready to go, and all being well, we'd love to be involved in that.
Yeah.
Apart from that, we're sort of keeping our options open and sort of thinking about what we could do that could involve more of the community.
Yeah.
And bring more people on board.
Fantastic. So, I mean, that's the other thing, isn't it, about these companies like yourself? New writers, or writers that just want to get their stuff workshopped, get it out to an audience.
That's it.
It's ideal for them as well as it's great for you.
We can all help each other out. We can all be platforms for each other. If there's new writers that want to put work on, then we can be the guys to do it. If there's new actors that want to try their skills on the stage and they're looking for someone to try and work with or work for, then we're there too. So it's helping everybody out, and it's quite enchanting really that we can all sort of be here for each other and help bring everybody on.
Yeah, fantastic, brilliant. Thanks for coming in, lads. I mean, really interesting. A great idea to. I mean, just to do like a collaboration like this. I mean, it takes away a lot of stress from each other. Brilliant, absolutely fantastic. There you go. If you want to go see the Dumb Waiter and the Doc Brief, I've said it properly now, by Skimming Stones Theatre Company and Suitcase Theatre Company. They're on at Theatre Clwyd the 26th to the 29th of April 2017, and the booking is the box office 01352 701 521 01352 701 521, or indeed just go to the webpage theatreclwyd.com. That's probably the easiest way of going about it. theatreclwyd.com. Book tickets, go and see that. Support your local theatre, ladies and gentlemen.